In today's Versus video, we are going to compare two very different takes on American muscle. On one side is the all-new 2026 Dodge Charger, powered by the twin-turbo Hurricane Inline 6. On the other side is the 2026 Ford Mustang, and we're going to include the 500 horsepower Dark Horse. I'm going to get a vote. Dane is going to get a vote, and the AI robot is going to get a vote. We're going to look at horsepower, cost, things like that. But first, the most important thing, we're going to look at how these things look.
Initial impressions are it's kind of dull.
Yeah.
There's not a lot going on. It's got a very tight grill that I'm surprised gets any airflow for cooling at all. But obviously, it does plenty of what it needs to do because that Hurricane engine makes quite a bit of power. But yeah, it's just kind of a very muted, very simple design. There's no real, sharp edges. Yeah, it looks very plain. It's like a super simple looking car. I don't know. What do you think?
I agree, Dane. I think it looks a little boring, if I gotta be honest. I'm not excited about it. I think the last generation looked better. The Challenger two-door, I think, looked better than this. I like Dodges, but I don't like this one that much. I saw one of these at the car show before these came out years ago, and it looked like different. I think it was called the Banshee or something.
You know when this is coming out?
I don't know. The inside, what do you think? The interior looks pretty good, right?
Yeah, it's fine. It's very simple. It's got nice bolstering in the seats. Controls are in very ergonomic places. So yeah, interior wise, I think it looks decent. I've not sat in one of these cars yet. I've seen one in person. I've actually seen a couple of them in person, but I've just not got a chance to drive one or sit in one yet.
Dane, I like how this screen is. It's not like sticking up like most screens.
Yeah.
It's
Sometimes they get up
lower.
above the dash and they kind of block your view. Yeah, I don't like that either.
Yeah, I like what they did there.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
placement's good.
Yeah,
And the
I think
dash
so.
itself, like, looking through the steering wheel, it looks very simple too. It's
Yeah.
just only a few gauges on the cluster. There's not a lot going on. It's not too busy. And then you've got like your stereo and all your other controls on the side. So that's a pretty good layout.
So let's take a look at the Mustang, and then we're going to decide which one looks better before we get into the categories. Here we go, Dane. The Mustang. First impressions, what do you think?
It's a good looking sports car.
Yeah.
It's what I think when I think American sports cars. It's got the right proportions. It's obviously a front engine, rear wheel drive, available with a manual transmission, but it's got the right proportions. It's got the fastback look. This is what an American muscle car or sports car is supposed to look like, if you ask me.
I think so too. I think it looks way better. I got to be honest. And everybody knows that we are GM guys, but I will admit, to me, the Mustang is better overall than the Camaro. That is my personal opinion. I had a Mustang at one point, but yeah, I'd like the Mustang better. It's so much more comfortable to sit in.
Mhm.
It looks great. It is, I think, the best American muscle car.
And we're doing it better than anybody else alive. Woo!
Dane, what do you think?
Yeah, well, I never liked the way Mustangs looked, I think ever,
Really?
until this generation and the previous one. When they came out with the previous generation to this one, I was like, wow, now they've really nailed it. 'Cause, it's
Yeah.
very similar proportion wise. And the grille and the headlight combo is very similar. Like, it's just a really, really good looking car. It's got, like I said, right proportions, right lines. When you think about drawing a sports car, the silhouette is what this car is. So they really nailed it. However, I think the latest generation Camaro looks amazing. I
Yeah.
love the Gen 6 Camaro. It's just too bad we don't have it anymore. I have been in that car too, the Camaro. It's very hard to see out of.
It is. That's why I didn't get it.
Yeah, it's not. It does not have great visibility when you're sitting inside of it. It's very much like being in a fighter jet with like small windows. It feels tight. But the Mustang's got better visibility for sure.
I felt like I was in a submarine when I was in that Camaro.
Yeah, they have a really like almost claustrophobic feel on the inside, but they look great on the outside. At least the ZL ones do. You know, the 1SS LEs, the ones with track packages, it looks super good.
All right, so Dane, obviously it looks like we are both picking the Mustang as looking better. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Mustang for sure on the looks department. When they first released, they're only electric.
Oh yeah,
And
we're not going to talk about that one. That one does,
yeah,
that
we're
one's
gonna talk about that one
invisible.
today. That one's whatever. They couldn't get rid of them damn things.
Yeah, I think they threw them in the ocean.
It's a good place for them.
Yeah. All right, let's look at these stats. So this is the report from the AI robot. Here are the stats. Powertrain and bumper to bumper are a tie. Here's what we need to know. For horsepower, we got 420 horsepower from the standard output Charger and 550 from the high output. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that's awesome.
For the Mustang, we got 480 horsepower for the V8 GT and 500 horsepower for the Dark Horse. So I tried to keep both of these under about $70,000. We're not going to count the Mustang GTD because that one's kind of a supercar.
Yeah, that thing's in a league of its own. It's not really a Mustang. I mean, it is, but it's not.
Yeah, that's way up there.
Yeah.
Even though we can't afford that.
Right, that's a very juiced up Mustang. It's not your standard car.
Let's see who's winning. It looks like the Charger's winning for the high output.
Yeah, with the high output version. I tell you what, that Hurricane engine is freaking phenomenal. So anybody that's upset, that's like, oh, I should have a Hemi. Yeah, I get it. You know, you want American sports car to have a V8 in it, but inline six turbocharged engines are so freaking awesome. They rev like crazy. They make great torque. They sound really good. They're super reliable. BMW and Mercedes have been using them forever. The Ford Barra, which is super popular in Australia, is an inline, 3-liter 6-cylinder that Ford's done for a long time. GM's got them too. The 4200, they call it the Barra, which is basically the GM version of the Barra engine. That thing you can make a ton of power with too. Inline sixes are awesome. So anybody that's upset about not being a V8, don't be.
I'd rather have it as a V8, I ain't gonna lie. But that's just me.
I would too. But I still really like the inline six.
I don't know why do we need to copy off of what BMW or Mercedes is doing? Who cares what they're doing? I would rather have a V8.
I don't know if it's a copy. It's just, I mean, Toyota did it, right? The Supra was an inline six turbo. It's not like it's anything. The inline six isn't new, Sorry, yeah. Like Ford and GM have been building inline six engines since like the 40s and the 50s and stuff. They just didn't have turbochargers on them, but inline six ain't nothing new. Everybody's made a 6-cylinder.
We're going to have to see which one do you think is going to sell more?
Ooh, the Mustang.
No, I'm between the inline six Charger and the V8.
Oh, is there going to be a V8 Charger?
I think so.
It depends on how they release it. Because if they release the V8 Charger as, like a premium package option that's really expensive, kind of like the Hellcat, they're not going to sell as many of those as a standard option, Hurricane or Hurricane and high output. That's going to be at a lower price point. But if they come out similar price point, I'm going to guess the V8 sells more.
That's what I think, but we'll have to find out in the future. For torque, the Charger has 468 foot-pounds for the standard output and 531 for the high output, which is more than both Mustangs. The GT gets 415 foot-pounds of torque, 418 from the Dark Horse. So it looks like the Charger is winning for torque.
Yeah.
Let's see. Some of these we don't really know 100% is 0 to 60 times. Looks like the Charger could get the best time of 3.9 seconds, which is also the same as the Dark Horse. That's going to be close, depending on who's driving, I guess.
Yeah.
Both of them get about 12 seconds in a quarter mile. The difference in weight is a lot. The Mustang, it looks like it is going to be between 700 to 900 pounds lighter.
That is significant.
The Charger needs to go on a diet. What is going on? 4,700 to 4,900 pounds? That's too much.
Yeah, the Charger is a pig.
All right, so for manufacturing location, the Dodge Charger is made in Canada. And the Ford Mustang is made in Flat Rock, Michigan. I remember when I bought my Mustang,
Mhm.
it had a little sign on it that said "Made with Pride" by the UAW
Mhm.
in Michigan, and I thought that was pretty cool, and I'd like that. Let's look at the final decision, then we're gonna look at some more pictures. The AI robot says the overall pick is the Mustang Dark Horse. It offers lighter weight and track performance, while the Charger Hurricane High Output offers massive torque and modern turbocharged muscle. The choice depends on whether you prioritize lighter track handling or maximum turbocharged power. Looks like it's picking the Mustang. Dane, which one will you pick? Everybody needs to know.
This one's a pretty easy decision for me. We're going Mustang for a couple very simple reasons. It's got a high revving V8. You need in a sports car is a high revving engine. You need a manual transmission. The Charger doesn't have that.
It doesn't.
Nope.
Oh,
The Charger is only automatic for now. Maybe they'll do a manual option later. What was I going to say? Oh, in rear wheel drive. The Mustang's rear wheel drive and it's significantly lighter. It's a fun car to have on the track. I've got to do battle against some Mustangs in
really?
my BMW, and the Mustangs perform very, very well on the track. I wish I had some seat time in one to give you more knowledge and know-how, but I don't. And the Charger, you're just not going to see them. They're too heavy. You know, the all-wheel drive is going to make them kind of push a little bit. They're not going to have the rear-wheel drive characteristics I like. Mustang's being a more fun car to drive. I think it's a better value, and it's what a real American sports car is supposed to be. So, easy win for me on the Mustang.
Easy win. Dane, I
Yep.
have to completely agree with you.
Yeah.
The Mustang would be my choice all day, every day, at twice on Sunday. Look at this beautiful, beautiful American muscle car.
It is a
I
good-looking
love it.
car.
It looks better. It's got a V8. You can get a stick shift. And what else do you want out of life other than a stick shift V8 Mustang? I don't know what else. I don't know if it gets any better than that.
Dude, it really does. And they're such good-looking cars. They've got great color combos. There's plenty of aftermarket support if you want to upgrade and change things later on down the road. You really can't go wrong with this generation car.
Oh man, this thing is beautiful. Look at this.
All right. We need to do something else before I go and buy a Ford.
I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm sorry, Miss Mary, but I gotta get this Mustang.
Bring back a cool Camaro, Miss Mary, and we won't talk so nice about the Mustang anymore.
All right, well, that's what we got for you today. Let us know in the comments, which one would you pick, the Mustang or the Dodge Charger? And if you have one of these vehicles, let us know what you think about it. Thank you for tuning in and have a good one.
See you guys next time.